What is going on, everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything you need to know about investing with a VA loan. This is Brian Samardi. He's a loan officer, done hundreds of deals, and we're just going to go through, everything you need to know. So let's jump into it. And as always, if you have any questions about anything, just drop them in the comment section below and we'll answer it. But to get started with, what types of properties are eligible for VA loans?
Anything 4 units and under.
So this VA loans as well as FHA is a great way to house hack. So you can basically buy an apartment building. You can get started in multifamily investing and financial freedom. You have to live in one of the units and then you can rent the other 3 units out. And not only that, but the VA, FHA, pretty much any lender is going to use the rental income from the other units to help you qualify for the loan.
The biggest perk about FHA and VA, they generally give you a little more leniency on your back-end DTI, your debt-to-income ratio. That's why it's the better option when it comes to investing or house hacking. Because say you have a little bit more in debt or like a car loan that you didn't really understand about before learning about investing, it gives you wiggle room. Whereas conventional loan, they're pretty strict with their guidelines.
And also, it has to be your intention to live there for 12 months. Especially in the military, situations can change. You might get transferred, and it's kind of a gray area, but your intention has to be to live there for 12 months. And then you can rent it out and you can sell it and you can do whatever you want with it.
Yes. Big keynote is housing fraud. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are getting deeper into housing fraud. Mm-hmm. So I don't know exactly what they do to figure out or verify if you're actually living on the property, but you don't want to risk jail time.
You can also just buy a single family house, condo, townhouse, and then rent out a room or two. You can house hack. So you can have cash flow coming in every single month.
I know here in Montgomery County, there's a lot of properties that are built that way, where you have like a walkout basement, renting out a basement. I can give you specifics here in Maryland. This is where I live. A whole basement you can rent for at least $1,000. With our current rates right now, mortgages, you're probably looking, say like at a $500,000 house, you're looking between like $3,500. That's a third of your mortgage.
Yeah, that's pretty significant. And over the course of a year, you had $12,000. That could go towards vacation, a brand new roof, brand new kitchen, bathroom. And then as far as the condition of the property, VA loans kind of have a reputation sometimes for being a little bit more strict. And I guess, they are more strict, but they're not like, it's not like the entire house has to be fully renovated or anything like that.
Correct. Appliances, stove, fridge, and handrails for any stairs are the main things.
Yeah. I remember I had a house one time, or it was for a client, and we had to basically purchase, I think it was like a refrigerator or something like that before closing, and they got a steal of a deal on it, but the appliances have to be there. It has to be a livable type of property. Another thing to add in there is that you do have to move into the property within 60 days. I don't know if I mentioned that. So maybe you purchase a property that needs a little bit of work. You'd have to do your renovations and then within 60 days actually move into the property. And then who is actually eligible for VA loans?
Anyone who's available to get a certificate of eligibility from the VA. So any bad remarks, if you're a military member, you may not be eligible. So it's important to reach out to a good lender to get your COE, certificate of eligibility, or if you're in the military branch already, still active duty, you can reach out to your admin. They'll gladly give it to you.
Okay, perfect. What about credit score?
Credit score, you can get as low as a 580, but there might be some stipulations in terms of credit-wise or rate. You might have a really bad rate, but 620 is generally the best number minimum I would recommend.
And then usually around 740, 750 is like the ideal, like in a perfect world, But you can still, with VA, you can qualify with a lot less than that.
Yeah.
So try to get that credit score up a little bit if you're down. What about down payment requirements?
Down payment, 0 down, but the biggest caveat here is that there's a VA funding fee. On your first time using the VA loan, it's a 2.3% of the sale price.
Okay.
And then after that, I believe it's 3.2 if you use it sequential. If you do not have any service-related disabilities, at least 10%. Because if you do have a 10% disability, you are exempt from that VA funding fee.
Okay, so 2%, and then plus you need closing costs, right? So another
I would say 1,000. I mean, depending on your title company appraisal, you could probably get away with like a less than $3,000 closing costs.
And some people, some investors, I mean, you do have to, we'll talk about purchasing the property because it does have to be your primary residence, but some investors will actually have the seller can actually credit you that amount, right, if you negotiate that with the seller?
Yes. So if you have a good realtor, you can negotiate closing costs.
Okay. So it technically could be, 0% or close to 0% if you negotiate the correct way.
Correct. And actually with my first purchase with my VA loan, I had the seller do seller financing.
Oh, no way.
Because it was only like $3,000 for the closing costs.
Okay.
And it just covered everything for me.
There you go.
And I got lucky for my actual first property. I bought it from a previous investor. It was a single family home. Okay. And he kind of just he knew what I was going to do. Yeah. So he was like, I'll help you out.
And VA loans are assumable. That's an attractive thing about them is that, someone else could take over the loan, or even you could potentially, actually there was a 4-unit in Washington, D.C. that I was looking at, and it was actually a VA who owned it, or a veteran that owned it. So that loan, that rate, his price was kind of high, but his monthly payment would have been pretty low. So I was kind of like evaluating that as a potential option. As far as the purchase price of the loan limit, it's going to depend obviously on the city. If you're in San Francisco or we're in the Washington, D.C. market, the loan limits are going to be significantly higher. Right. Than if you're in like Jacksonville or something like that.
Right. So based on your entitlement from the VA, you'll get that all in your certificate of eligibility. It'll break down what area or what your entitlement is, and then same time you have to look at your county to figure out what the loan limits for the VA is in that area. Because you could say in the DMV area, you could probably look at like 1.2 easily. Yeah. Depending on where you are.
And if you're looking for, obviously, an investor-friendly agent, myself personally, I own 17 units, multifamily in the Washington, D.C. market. And then Brian obviously he's done hundreds of deals around here. So definitely reach out to either of us at any point if you have any interest. And then as far as like VA Streamline Refinancing, is that similar? That's pretty similar to FHA Streamline, right?
Correct. Okay. Yeah. I did that last year. Went from when I bought my house in 2018, I could say I bought it at a 4.75% interest rate. Okay. During the pandemic, I refinanced to a 2.25. Wow. And so I think another thing, since I said with the VA funding fee, if you have at least a 10% disability rating by the VA, you are exempt from the VA funding fee. I am a Marine Corps veteran, and I have a 10% disability. So that refi was basically free for me. Wow. Yeah, so with the VA IRRRL interest rate reduction loan or refinance loan, they do not verify your income.
Wow. Yeah. So it's a lot easier of a refinance than most typical refinances. And then I don't know if we mentioned this, but there's no PMI. There's no mortgage PMI. Insurance with FHA loans, or anytime you're putting less than 20% down, the banks are typically going to require that you pay an extra. I have a loan. I think it's about $490, and I'm paying like $350 per month in
just PMI. Mortgage insurance.
Yeah. So it can be pretty significant. So that's a nice benefit of the VA loan.
That could make and break your cash flow. Yeah. Depending on what you can rent your property for.
Actually, because when I refinanced it, I was only saving $350 per month or so. But that was basically the same as my PMI. So I'm like, oh man, I need to get rid of this PMI too. That'll be a nice.
Well, the biggest thing about removing PMI too, now you're putting more money into the actual loan rather than just mortgage insurance. Because mortgage insurance is completely separate from your principal and interest.
Yeah. As far as time frames for closing on a VA loan, what are we looking at? Because I know a lot of times if you're using like a credit union or different, slower big national banks, sometimes it can be like 45 days to close a VA loan, which in any market is like kind of a long time.
Right. For us, as long as we have all your borrower documents in ahead of time, more likely before you get under contract, we can close you under 15 days because all you will be contingent on is on your appraisal and title.
Yeah, that's pretty fast. That's like a cash offer. Exactly. Some people, it's like, those cash buyers. All right, 2-week closing. And then let's say you move out of town. Like a lot of times in the military, obviously you might get transferred. So I mentioned earlier, your intention has to be to live there for 12 months. But if you're not able to for whatever reason, you can keep it. You can still rent. You're allowed to rent the property out, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Before the 12 months, or
if you're active duty and you get a PCS, primary change of station, or you have orders to go somewhere else, you are allowed to rent the property while you are away, and that also allows you to buy another property using the VA loan again at your new duty station.
Yeah, which is important. And you can use the VA loan twice or more than once, multiple times. However, there is a catch to that because it's all about how much your
entitlement and eligibility from the VA is. So
if you're basically entitled to, let's say, $1 million, and the first property you buy is like $750,000.
Your next property can only, or the VA will only loan you that remaining $250,000.
Okay. So it's not like there's a slight catch to it. It's nice that you can use it multiple times.
Right, yeah. But the best way to get out of there, the loophole, is to refinance your VA home into a conventional mortgage.
Yeah.
Your rate might be slightly higher, but then you can use zero down, which is the best benefit.
Yeah. And that's if you really want to start building your multifamily portfolio while you're working in the military or whatever it may be, that is a great option. Buy a 4-unit, live there, rent it out. After a year, maybe you refinance it and then repeat the process over and over again.
And actually, I just want to add on, this is a tip that I get for my active duty veterans or active duty military service members. If you are eligible to get BAH, basic housing allowance, you're getting paid to buy a property, basically. And if your goal is to rent it out in the future, you're getting double pay. You're getting paid to have a property, and then you're moving on to putting tenants in it. Or say if you buy like a 3-bedroom home and rent out 2 of those other rooms to your boys or whoever, your friends, other service members, then you're getting triple pay.
That triple pay, you can't beat that. That sounds pretty good. I thought double pay was nice, but triple pay is,
exactly.
That's like a no-brainer. That's pretty much it. And if you have any questions or you're looking to do this, definitely reach out to us. And I just want to leave you with this one quote that a multifamily investor was talking about. He said, the law of the first deal, this guy, Michael Blanc, once you do your first multifamily deal, it opens up this whole world of multifamily investing. And within 3 to 5 years, what he's seen is a lot of people become financially free, through multifamily investing. And if you're looking, not only to do these types of deals, but also if you're looking for a one-on-one mentor, like I said, I own 17 units and I'm looking to mentor, different investors and also agents nationwide. So definitely reach out to either of us for the VA loan.
100%. Coming from Marine Corps veteran, investor myself, I only own 1 rental unit currently, but I'm looking to learn more from Jeff.
There we go. All right. Talk to you guys later.
See
Bye.
Ya.